What's up? I'm McMaschio and this is 10 things I cannot live without, starting from the most obvious up till the least obvious. So the first thing and the most obvious thing is my coffee. Yes, it is coffee and nothing else. I actually started drinking coffee only a couple of years back. Before that, I never had the habit of coffee and I would always find myself being energetic throughout the day even without the coffee. But then after I was done with my course is when I started having more and more coffee. In the morning when I wake up, I gotta have coffee. At the hospital, I'm having another coffee. When I get back, another coffee. Sometimes when my day is jam-packed and I cannot come home for lunch like I usually do, I just go to a cafe, sit with a coffee and a ham and cheese croissant and I'm done till dinner. And yes, I am aware that coffee is not all that healthy and consuming so much is not that healthy. It's just reached the point where I kind of need it because I travel about 100 kilometers a day, work at 2 places as a physiotherapist, make videos, edit videos, and also working on a lot of other miscellaneous side projects. So without the coffee, I cannot get through the day. The next thing, which is pretty obvious as well, is my phone. Now this is my phone which I use for my work number and this is my main personal phone that I use for myself. The main reasons I use my phone is to call and for the cameras. I am a sucker for a good scenery which can be either captured by photo or video. I am the kind of guy that will stop the car in the middle of the highway just so that I can get one beautiful shot that is just amazing to me. And whether it's my phone, whether it's my GoPro, whether it's my Sony, I need to have some sort of camera on me at all times just because you never know when you can get the amazing and the perfect shots. The next essential that I cannot live without are these earpods. And if you see, these earpods are like the design of the original AirPods and the original iPhone and iPod earpods that were there. And the reason that I'm using these and not any other earpods is because when Apple first launched their earphones, those earphones fit my ear perfectly. Now I have very small ears, as you can see, so no other earphones ever fit my ear properly where they would just stay. They would all just fall out, and it was only Apple's design that was perfect for me. And I love the first gen AirPods as well because the sound was amazing and the fit was perfect. But now the new AirPods have gone into the rubber thing, that design, whatever, that does not fit my ear. Now I could have gone and got the first gen Apple earpods because those are much better than these. But then I use these earphones most of the time to consume podcasts. Like when I'm consuming music and all, I'm using my headphones. So for podcasts, these are fine and they cost like 10-12 times cheaper than the Apple earpods. So I just got these instead of the earpods. Now the one funny thing about these is about a month back, I lost one of them. So I'm currently only using one, and I don't know, this does not have the Apple feature where I can buzz it and find the other one. I have no idea where it is, but I guess I'm just going to use one till these go and then probably get a replacement. Now we're coming towards the end of the more obvious ones, and the next one is this wallet. Now as you can see, this wallet is really fine. It's absolutely amazing, and this was a gift from my brother-in-law. Now the previous wallet I had before this was a big fat chunk, like it was at least this fat. I cannot find it right now, I might have thrown it out, but it was huge. And in my pocket, like I could always feel it and it would always put pressure in unwanted ways on my ass. So that's why I've just fallen in love with this new wallet. And my wallet used these days has very little cash and is just filled up with all cards because I have multiple bank accounts for different things that I do. So I needed a wallet that can store multiple cards. So you got cards here, I got a couple of cards here, I've got a couple of 3-4 cards over here. So even after holding so many cards, it still manages to remain so razor thin, and that's why I just love this wallet. Now my next essential is something that I really need and use on a daily basis. Because I travel by bike, I need my sunglasses because my eyes are very sensitive to sun, and especially when I'm riding the bike, the sun directly hits my eyes and my eyes just start watering or they start scratching, and this can happen at any time while I'm riding, which can be very dangerous. So a pair of good sunglasses is an absolute essential for me every single day. Another essential that I cannot live without. So this watch, I got it I think 6 to 7 years back, and I was not using it throughout the entire 6 to 7 years. So there was a time period when I did not use this watch and I put it in the cupboard, and I was using a smartwatch or a fitness band, whatever you call it, to track my calories, to track my footsteps and all that kind of crazy stuff. But then after using that for a while, I realized like I really check how much I actually walked, how many steps I took. It really does not make a difference to me. As long as I know I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising almost every day, I really don't need all that data to tell me how well or how good my body is. So that's when I realized like I love analog watches and I'm gonna stick with analog watches, and that's why my watch is my daily driver, and it's just beautiful and just something amazing about having an analog heavy metal watch on your hand that has some weight. You know, it just looks so classy that I'm gonna pick analog over digital, at least for now. Now moving on to the less obvious is my jewelry collection. Yes, I'm a fanatic for jewelry. So I've got all different kinds of rings. I've got different chains. This is actually my favorite chain right now. This is actually a ring that was gifted by my friend, and this is a chain from this piece. And when I'm wearing an all black t-shirt, I just like this minimalistic chain with a ring look. And I've got a pair of fake earrings. I've got this chain with the lock at the end that I painted and made it into a chain. So yeah, I know this might come as a surprise, but I'm a sucker for jewelry, and I just end up getting a lot of jewelry. Not the expensive, but you know, minimalistic, and I just love jewelry. My next essential is, no, it's not Abraham Lincoln, but this was a huge essential part of my life, and that was books in general. Like when I was younger, I used to read so many books. There were days when I would just go entire days just reading books. I would even finish a 300-400 page book in one day and in one sitting. I was so obsessed with books. And as I grew older, I lost touch of that habit of reading books and consuming and learning more stuff. And it was only this year that I decided that I wanted to make it a habit again of reading books, and biographies is something that I love reading the most. So what I do is I carry a book around with me. No matter where I'm going, it's always in my bag. And I do not make it a point that I have to read every day or something like that, but the fact that it's always in my bag, and there are times when I find myself with nothing to do, I am waiting for something, I know I just have this book and I just pull it out and I just start reading. So even though I'm not consciously making the effort that I need to read every single day, by keeping the book around with me all the time, I kind of am creating this habit of just picking up the book and starting to read, and hopefully inculcate that habit once again. Now my next essential is too big to get indoors, and this is the keys to my bike. And it's not necessary that it's this bike, but it's having a vehicle of my own. For example, before this I had a car, and before that I had a bike, but the car was the first thing that I purchased with my own money, and I had it for 2 years, and then I finished my college and I came back home, and at home we already had 2 bikes and a car. And even though those were my dad's and my brother's vehicles, I thought like they're not using it all the time, so I might as well just use it sometimes, and I don't really need another car. So I sold that car, and soon I started realizing the freedom it is to have your own vehicle, to just go out whenever you need or whenever you want to, and not have any restrictions. So in about 1 or 2 months after I sold my car, I took all that money and actually put in more money to buy this bike. And that just goes to show that I need a vehicle with me at all times, because I just end up traveling so much. Now my last essential is a moisturizer and a sunscreen. And no, I'm not one of those that has a crazy skincare routine. Actually, I don't have any skincare routine. So you're probably wondering, what do I use the moisturizer and the sunscreen for? And the answer is for my tattoos. So this tattoo, the outside one, is the one I had got first about 2 years back, and I never used any sunscreen or moisturizer, was very rare, and I ended up just sunburning and making the lower part illegible, and then I had to get it redone into this band kind of thing. So after that point, I realized like I'm spending so much money on getting these amazing beautiful tattoos done, I need to take care of them. So the moisturizer is for the tattoo, and if I ever go out into the sun knowing that my tattoo is getting exposed, I am putting on sunscreen. And I actually like the sunscreen. This is SPF 55, but this is all natural and it is kind of less harsh on the skin, so I'm a big fan of it. I don't use it anywhere else, like I don't use it on my face or my hands. It's just for my tattoos because I need to protect these babies.